When someone starts acting differently around you, it often reveals deeper thoughts and emotions they have about the connection between you. In Stoicism, self-awareness and the understanding of others play a crucial role in cultivating meaningful relationships. A Stoic would view changes in someone's behavior as a reflection of their intentionality and commitment to virtue. When someone begins to adjust how they interact with you, whether by showing greater attentiveness, respect, or openness, they are not simply responding to external circumstances, but are actively reflecting on their own character and how they engage with you. This shift suggests that they perceive your relationship as unique and valuable, prompting them to act in a way that aligns more closely with their virtues and your presence. Psychologically, people tend to modify their behavior based on how they perceive others and the significance they attach to their relationships. When someone acts differently around you, it often reflects an increased awareness of your habits, preferences, or the emotional impact of their actions. They may become more thoughtful, attentive, or even vulnerable, signaling that they are invested in strengthening the bond between you. This change in behavior goes beyond surface-level interactions and suggests a deeper emotional connection, one that requires self-reflection and intentional effort. From a Stoic perspective, the concept of treating others with respect and understanding is central. A Stoic would view someone's behavior adjustment as a sign of virtue, where humility, empathy, and attentiveness play a key role in how they interact. When someone acts differently around you, they are demonstrating their commitment to these virtues, striving to engage with you in a way that is thoughtful and meaningful. Ultimately, this behavior reflects a deeper understanding of the relationship and an intentional effort to foster trust, growth, and connection in line with Stoic principles of personal development and virtue. Number 1. Frequent eye contact. Frequent eye contact is a powerful indicator of someone's thoughts and feelings, particularly when it comes to assessing their interest or connection with another person. In Stoicism, attention to the details of human interaction, including body language, is seen as an important aspect of understanding relationships and others' character. When someone maintains frequent eye contact with you, it suggests a level of attentiveness, presence, and a desire to engage more meaningfully. In a Stoic context, such behavior aligns with the virtues of self-awareness and respect for others, as it demonstrates a commitment to understanding and connecting with others on a deeper level. Psychologically, maintaining prolonged or frequent eye contact tends to signal genuine interest and engagement. The eyes are often referred to as the windows to the soul, offering a direct means of communication beyond words. When someone holds eye contact, they are not merely observing, but they are actively processing and responding to what is being conveyed. This can indicate that they are paying close attention, listening carefully, and valuing the interaction. From a Stoic perspective, attention to such small yet significant details reflects a person's commitment to virtue and their focus on what truly matters, the relationship and connection with others. Frequent eye contact also suggests that the person feels comfortable and secure enough to be open and present. In Stoicism, the idea of maintaining composure and clarity in social interactions is crucial. Someone who practices frequent eye contact tends to be more self-assured and aware, understanding that maintaining such engagement fosters a deeper connection. The Stoic concept of focusing on what is within our control reflects a mindset of attentiveness and control over how one interacts with others, and frequent eye contact is a natural extension of this behavior. It implies that the individual is not merely passively involved in the conversation, but is instead actively participating, reflecting on what is happening, and valuing the interaction. Moreover, when someone maintains prolonged eye contact, they are often demonstrating their willingness to be vulnerable and open. In Stoicism, vulnerability is viewed not as a weakness, but as a necessary component of self-awareness and connection with others. By allowing themselves to engage openly and honestly, they show that they are not afraid to connect on a deeper level, which fosters trust and mutual respect. When someone feels at ease and secure in the relationship, they tend to let down their guard, allowing for a more authentic form of communication. In this way, frequent eye contact is not just an act of attention, but a signal of their willingness to engage in a more genuine and meaningful way. Psychologically, frequent eye contact also helps to build trust and strengthen bonds between individuals. It conveys a sense of reliability and attentiveness that makes others feel heard and understood. In Stoicism, trust and mutual understanding are fundamental principles. A Stoic would appreciate that someone who maintains eye contact is demonstrating respect for the other person's presence and a commitment to fostering a connection that aligns with virtue. This kind of behavior contributes to the development of deeper relationships, as it shows that the person is actively investing in the interaction. From a practical perspective, frequent eye contact tends to reduce misunderstandings and create a clearer flow of communication. In Stoicism, the emphasis on clarity and understanding is key to living a life aligned with virtue. By focusing on what can be controlled, such as one's attention and engagement, a Stoic would view frequent eye contact as a way to ensure that both parties are fully present and engaged. When someone consistently maintains eye contact, they are likely minimizing distractions and ensuring that their attention remains fully on the conversation, which fosters a deeper sense of connection and understanding. In addition, frequent eye contact often implies confidence and assertiveness. In Stoic philosophy, self-control and confidence are virtues that contribute to an individual's character. A person who maintains steady eye contact tends to appear more composed and self-assured, which can enhance the perception of their presence and attention. Stoicism encourages individuals to cultivate qualities such as confidence, clarity, and composure, all of which are reflected in the behavior of maintaining eye contact. When someone engages in this way, they are demonstrating that they are in control of their emotions and actions, contributing to a sense of trustworthiness and respect. Moreover, frequent eye contact can foster emotional connections by promoting a deeper sense of empathy. In Stoicism, empathy is not merely about understanding the feelings of others, but about connecting with them in a way that promotes mutual understanding and respect. When someone maintains eye contact, they are signaling that they are attuned to your emotions and feelings. This attentiveness helps to build a bond of trust, as it shows that they are not just passively observing, but actively participating in the relationship. The Stoic emphasis on empathy encourages individuals to engage with others in ways that promote understanding, and frequent eye contact is one way of embodying this virtue. In relationships, maintaining frequent eye contact can also reflect a person's respect for boundaries and their desire to connect in a meaningful way. Stoicism encourages individuals to respect the boundaries and autonomy of others while maintaining their own integrity. A person who practices frequent eye contact demonstrates that they are attentive and respectful, qualities that are highly valued in Stoic philosophy. This behavior shows that they are present, engaged, and committed to fostering connections that are built on mutual respect and understanding. Number 2. She remembers small details about you. When someone remembers small details about you, it can reveal a deeper level of connection and thoughtfulness. In Stoicism, the practice of paying attention to the small details of life and others is highly valued. A Stoic would view such behavior as a reflection of one's virtue and attentiveness, emphasizing the importance of treating others with respect and care. When someone recalls small things about you, whether it's a preference, a habit, or a specific conversation, it suggests that they are not only paying attention, but also genuinely invested in the relationship. This is far more than mere observance. It demonstrates an awareness of the unique aspects that make you who you are, and an effort to understand those elements on a deeper level. From a psychological perspective, remembering small details about someone often stems from genuine interest and care. People tend to recall such details because they perceive the relationship as meaningful. Small details can include things like your favorite book, a particular joke you told, your routine, or even small quirks that make you unique. When someone takes the time to remember these things, they are signaling that they have been paying attention to who you are as an individual. This attentiveness fosters a sense of connection and validation, creating a more intimate relationship. The brain tends to encode and retain information that is significant or emotionally relevant, which means that remembering small details reflects a connection that goes beyond surface-level interactions. From a Stoic standpoint, attention to detail is an extension of virtue. A Stoic would recognize that remembering small things about someone is an intentional act of focus and presence. In Stoicism, living according to virtue involves being mindful of others and treating them with respect and care. By remembering these small details, the person is demonstrating a commitment to understanding you on a deeper level, which is in alignment with Stoic principles. The practice of paying attention to others, rather than merely observing or reacting, reflects a commitment to self-awareness and virtue. A Stoic would argue that such behavior stems from one's desire to cultivate relationships based on authenticity and respect. Psychologically, remembering small details about someone also reflects a heightened level of empathy. When someone remembers what you've shared with them, they are showing that they are attuned to your experiences and emotions. Empathy, from a psychological standpoint, is the ability to understand and share another's feelings. People who pay attention to small details often do so because they care about how those details contribute to your overall sense of identity. This level of attentiveness builds trust, as it shows that the person is invested in your well-being and is making an effort to understand who you are. In Stoicism, the emphasis on relationships is grounded in the idea that we should treat others as extensions of ourselves. When someone remembers small details about you, they are aligning their actions with this principle. They recognize that understanding others requires not only acknowledging their virtues and challenges, but also the unique aspects that make them who they are. By remembering these small details, the person is demonstrating their commitment to living in harmony with virtue and embracing a deeper connection. Furthermore, remembering small details helps to strengthen bonds between individuals. In relationships, especially those rooted in Stoic philosophy, the goal is to foster connections that are built on mutual understanding and respect. When someone recalls small details about you, they are reinforcing their awareness of your presence and what makes you unique. This attentiveness reflects a willingness to engage in a relationship that goes beyond the superficial, seeking deeper meaning and connection. In Stoic terms, this behavior is an expression of caring and treating others with the respect they deserve. From a practical standpoint, remembering small details is often tied to the idea of intentionality. People who recall details about others are usually not acting on impulse, but rather they are actively choosing to notice and retain information. This intentionality is central to Stoicism, which emphasizes that our actions should be guided by reason and self-awareness. In Stoic thought, maintaining a clear focus on what matters, such as the people around us, allows us to engage in relationships that reflect our virtues. The person who remembers small details about you is therefore practicing attention to what is within their control an intentional effort to contribute to the relationship in meaningful ways. In addition, remembering small details often signifies a deeper level of listening. Effective communication involves more than just hearing the words of others. It requires truly listening and processing what is being shared. When someone remembers small details, they demonstrate their capacity to listen attentively and respond accordingly. This listening is not only about hearing the information, but also about retaining it and reflecting on how it relates to you as a person. In Stoic philosophy, the idea of listening attentively and responding with wisdom is considered a sign of virtue. The person who remembers details shows that they are not just passive participants in the relationship, but active contributors who are fully engaged. Lastly, remembering small details about someone often fosters feelings of validation and appreciation. When someone notices and recalls these small elements of your life, it suggests that they value you and your experiences. In Stoicism, the concept of appreciating others is tied to the virtue of gratitude. When someone acknowledges the smaller aspects of who you are, they are recognizing the importance of your unique qualities, which helps to deepen the connection between you. This kind of attentiveness not only enhances the relationship, but also reinforces the value of treating others with respect and care. Number 3, she asks about your well-being regularly. When someone asks about your well-being regularly, it often indicates a deep level of care, attentiveness, and concern for your emotional and mental state. In Stoic philosophy, maintaining attention to others and their well-being is closely aligned with the virtue of empathy and self-awareness. A Stoic would view this behavior as a reflection of someone's commitment to living in accordance with virtue, emphasizing the importance of treating others with respect and care. By asking about your well-being, they show that they are not merely concerned with their own interests, but are actively engaging in a relationship that seeks to contribute to the well-being of both parties. Psychologically, people tend to ask about the well-being of others because they care about the relationship and are invested in the emotional connection. When someone regularly checks in on your well-being, they are signaling that they pay attention to your needs, feelings, and overall state of mind. This behavior reflects empathy, the ability to understand and share in the feelings of others. Asking about your well-being suggests that they are not merely focused on external circumstances or surface-level interactions, but are deeply attuned to your emotional life. People who exhibit this behavior tend to do so out of genuine concern, as they recognize that well-being goes beyond physical health. It encompasses emotional and psychological states as well. From a Stoic perspective, the act of asking about someone's well-being reflects virtue because it requires both attentiveness and a commitment to acting in accordance with what is within one's control. A Stoic would view such behavior as an acknowledgement of another person's inner state, encouraging thoughtful engagement and care. In Stoicism, the goal is not simply to react to external circumstances, but to be intentional in how one engages with others. By asking about someone's well-being, the person demonstrates a clear focus on what matters, taking responsibility for contributing to the well-being of others and treating them with respect and compassion. Moreover, regular inquiries into someone's well-being often reflect a deeper level of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Those who consistently check in on others are often more attuned to the emotional complexities of human relationships. They understand that true connection is not merely about exchanging information, but about offering care and support. In Stoic thought, emotional intelligence is seen as a key component of virtue because it allows individuals to navigate relationships with empathy, understanding, and intentionality. By asking about your well-being, the person demonstrates an awareness of how their actions contribute to the emotional health of others. In addition, Asking about someone's well-being often fosters trust and emotional intimacy. When someone takes the time to check in regularly, they signal that they care about your feelings and are invested in your emotional journey. This behavior builds a foundation of trust, as it shows that they are not indifferent to your needs or experiences. In Stoicism, the emphasis on trust and respect is central to developing healthy and meaningful relationships. A Stoic would recognize that someone who asks about your well-being is demonstrating their commitment to acting virtuously, ensuring that their interactions reflect kindness and attentiveness. From a psychological standpoint, people who ask about your well-being are often motivated by a desire to strengthen the relationship. When someone regularly checks in, they are reinforcing the idea that the relationship matters and that they are invested in your emotional well-being. This continuous attention helps to deepen bonds, creating a sense of connection that goes beyond superficial exchanges. The asking of well-being questions can also reflect a person's desire to be supportive and affirming, which is often driven by empathy and a genuine interest in the other person's happiness. In Stoic philosophy, asking about someone's well-being also aligns with the principle of focusing on what is within one's control. A Stoic would argue that while we cannot control others or their circumstances, we do have control over how we engage with them. By asking about your well-being, the person demonstrates their ability to contribute positively to your life, acting in a way that reflects virtue and care. This behavior is not driven by external validation, but by an internal commitment to living in harmony with virtue. Moreover, when someone asks about your well-being, they are often demonstrating emotional vulnerability. Asking about someone's well-being can be a reflection of their own understanding that relationships require a level of openness and vulnerability. In Stoicism, vulnerability is not viewed as a weakness, but as an essential aspect of self-awareness and emotional growth. Someone who regularly asks about your well-being shows that they are comfortable acknowledging their own emotional needs while seeking to support yours. This mutual exchange of vulnerability fosters deeper connections and a more authentic relationship. Additionally, regular well-being inquiries reflect a person's ability to be present and attentive. In Stoicism, presence and attention are critical virtues as they allow individuals to live with clarity and focus on what truly matters. A person who consistently checks in on your well-being demonstrates that they are not distracted or disconnected from the relationship, but are actively present and engaged. This attentiveness ensures that the connection remains meaningful and grounded in mutual respect and care. Lastly, asking about someone's well-being often reflects a person's values and priorities. Those who prioritize the well-being of others tend to embody virtues such as compassion, respect, and humility. In Stoicism, these virtues are essential to living a life of purpose and meaning. A Stoic would recognize that someone who regularly inquires about your well-being is aligning their actions with these values, fostering relationships that reflect virtue and contribute to the greater good. Number 4. Increased communication. Increased communication is a powerful indicator of interest and attentiveness in any relationship. From a psychological perspective, communication is not merely about exchanging information. It is a reflection of the connection, care, and emotional investment someone has in the relationship. When someone increases their communication with you, they are signaling that they value the relationship and are motivated to maintain or deepen the bond between you. In Stoic philosophy, effective communication is closely linked to virtue, self-awareness, and the understanding that maintaining meaningful connections contributes to one's well-being and the well-being of others. One of the key reasons why increased communication is significant is that it reflects the person's desire to stay connected. People typically prioritize communication when they care about the relationship and see value in maintaining it. This increased effort often goes beyond mere convenience. It involves a conscious choice to invest time and attention into the interaction. From a Stoic standpoint, communication that stems from a place of virtue is seen as an act of respect and care. A Stoic would argue that genuine communication is rooted in self-awareness and the understanding that relationships are important and therefore need to be nurtured through effort. Psychologically, increased communication helps to strengthen emotional bonds because it fosters a sense of connection. Communication is not solely about sharing information. It also involves emotional sharing, vulnerability, and the exchange of ideas, thoughts, and feelings. When someone initiates or sustains increased communication, they are creating an opportunity for deeper understanding and empathy. This is particularly important when relationships become more meaningful and intimate. The more someone communicates, the more they become attuned to your needs, thoughts, and emotions, demonstrating their commitment to understanding who you are and what matters to you. Increased communication often also signifies emotional investment. People generally put more effort into relationships where they feel a sense of connection and care. In Stoicism, emotional investment aligns with the virtue of commitment to others. A Stoic would view someone who increases their communication as someone who is actively practicing care, attention, and responsibility toward the relationship. This communication is not driven by external expectations or obligations, but arises from a deep sense of responsibility for maintaining the bond. A Stoic sees such communication as an act of virtue, reflecting a life lived with intention and respect for others. Moreover, communication can serve as a means of expressing and reinforcing shared values and beliefs. When someone increases their communication, it often reflects a desire to align with your views or to build common ground. This shared understanding deepens the relationship and creates a foundation of trust. From a Stoic perspective, relationships that are grounded in shared values are more stable and meaningful. Communication in this context is not about seeking validation, but about fostering a connection based on respect and a mutual commitment to one another's well-being. Increased communication also provides an opportunity for both parties to engage in meaningful dialogue. It enables the exchange of ideas, questions, and perspectives, creating a dynamic and evolving relationship. Communication, in this sense, is not static. It evolves with the relationship itself. When someone prioritizes communication, they show a willingness to engage in open and honest discussions, allowing for growth and self-improvement. A Stoic would view this as a sign of wisdom, where effective communication reflects a commitment to understanding oneself and others more deeply. From a psychological standpoint, increased communication can also lead to a sense of security and stability in relationships. When someone consistently communicates with you, it helps to build trust and reduce uncertainty. The act of regular communication can reinforce the idea that the relationship is valuable and important, providing reassurance that you are not overlooked or ignored. Additionally, increased communication often allows for more effective conflict resolution and understanding. Communication is a critical tool in navigating disagreements, misunderstandings, and differences in relationships. When someone invests time and effort in maintaining communication, they are demonstrating their willingness to address issues constructively and seek solutions. In Stoicism, this kind of problem-solving approach is rooted in rationality and a commitment to living in accordance with virtue. A Stoic would see communication as a way to foster peace and harmony, especially in relationships where challenges inevitably arise. Finally, increased communication can be seen as a form of respect for the other person's time and presence. When someone takes the time to communicate more frequently, they are acknowledging that your thoughts, feelings, and presence matter. In Stoicism, respect and acknowledgement of others are central to living virtuously. A Stoic would encourage communication that is intentional and focused on the well-being of others, reflecting the idea that relationships thrive when both parties act with care and responsibility. In conclusion, increased communication serves as a powerful indicator of interest, care, and emotional investment in a relationship. From a Stoic and psychological perspective, this behavior reflects virtues such as attentiveness, empathy, self-awareness, and respect. When someone communicates more frequently, they demonstrate their commitment to understanding you on a deeper level and investing in the relationship with intention. Increased communication fosters trust, stability, and shared values, contributing to relationships that are meaningful, authentic, and grounded in care. Number 5. Subtle compliments and praise. Subtle compliments and praise are often overlooked yet deeply meaningful indicators of interest and appreciation in a relationship. These small, often understated expressions of recognition play a significant role in building connections and reinforcing the value one places on another person. From a psychological perspective, compliments and praise reflect a person's attention to detail, empathy, and understanding of what matters to the other. In the realm of Stoicism, subtle compliments align closely with the virtues of humility, attentiveness, and respect for others. A Stoic would view these acts not as empty flattery, but as expressions of care aligned with the pursuit of a life lived virtuously. Subtle compliments differ from overt flattery in that they are often quiet, understated, and thoughtful. Rather than seeking external validation or attention, they stem from a genuine appreciation of the other person's qualities, actions, or character. Someone who offers subtle praise tends to do so without expecting anything in return, but rather as a form of recognition that enhances connection and deepens bonds. This kind of praise reflects a more authentic engagement, as it focuses on acknowledging the value and qualities of the other person in a way that feels natural and sincere. In Stoic thought, humility plays a crucial role, particularly in recognizing the value and contributions of others. A Stoic recognizes that true virtue lies in understanding what is within one's control, and this extends to appreciating the efforts, strengths, and qualities of others. Subtle compliments fit this framework because they are not driven by pride or a desire for external validation. Instead, they reflect a clear understanding of what truly matters: the character, actions, and virtues of others. By offering subtle praise, a person demonstrates their commitment to seeing the good in others, a key aspect of Stoic virtue. Psychologically, subtle compliments and praise contribute to the emotional well-being of both the giver and the receiver. When someone gives thoughtful and understated compliments, they are often motivated by empathy, an awareness of the other person's efforts, challenges, or qualities. These kinds of expressions show that the person is paying attention and valuing the other's contribution, without seeking to draw attention to themselves. From a psychological standpoint, people are naturally inclined to seek appreciation, and subtle compliments offer a form of validation that feels less intrusive and more respectful. Moreover, subtle compliments create a sense of emotional security. When someone acknowledges your efforts or qualities in a quiet, considerate way, it builds trust and reinforces the relationship. They signal to the recipient that their efforts, no matter how small, are noticed and appreciated. This helps to strengthen bonds and creates a sense of mutual respect and understanding. In Stoicism, trust and respect are fundamental to healthy relationships, and subtle compliments reflect these values by fostering connections that are grounded in care and attentiveness. Subtle praise also reflects a deeper level of self-awareness. Those who offer such compliments tend to be more introspective and reflective, as they take the time to notice and appreciate the virtues or efforts of others. In Stoic terms, self-awareness and attentiveness are essential virtues, as they help individuals live in accordance with what is within their control. A Stoic would argue that the act of giving subtle compliments aligns with this self-awareness, as it involves recognizing what is valuable in others and practicing gratitude for those qualities. From a psychological perspective, offering subtle praise can also enhance the giver's sense of fulfillment. When people express appreciation for others, they tend to experience a sense of purpose and meaning. Subtle compliments provide an opportunity for both parties to feel valued and acknowledged, reinforcing the importance of meaningful connections. This kind of behavior often leads to stronger, more authentic relationships built on mutual respect and care. In relationships, subtle compliments can also indicate a person's attention to detail. When someone takes the time to notice small changes, qualities, or efforts, it suggests that they are not only attentive but also thoughtful. They are paying attention to what truly matters to the other person, which contributes to deeper emotional bonds. A Stoic would consider this attentiveness as an expression of virtue, an acknowledgement that people's actions and efforts are worthy of recognition, even when they may seem small or insignificant. Additionally, subtle praise often signals emotional intelligence. Those who offer such compliments are often better at understanding and responding to the needs of others. They recognize the importance of showing care and appreciation without dominating the conversation or seeking attention. In Stoic thought, emotional intelligence is regarded as a virtue because it reflects a person's ability to navigate relationships with empathy, understanding, and attentiveness. Subtle compliments demonstrate this emotional awareness, as they stem from a genuine desire to acknowledge and validate the other person's presence and contributions. Finally, subtle compliments tend to reinforce positive behavior in others. When someone is praised or recognized for their efforts, even in quiet and understated ways, they are more likely to continue exhibiting those behaviors or qualities. This creates a cycle of appreciation and respect, which helps to strengthen the relationship over time. In Stoicism, the practice of recognizing and appreciating the virtues of others contributes to a life that seeks harmony, purpose, and meaning. Subtle compliments embody this approach, as they encourage individuals to live in a way that reflects care and respect for the good in others. Number 6. She mentions your achievements or goals. When someone mentions your achievements or goals, it's a clear indication that they are paying attention to your life and what matters to you. This level of interest goes beyond surface-level interactions and reflects a deeper connection and emotional investment. Psychologically, when someone acknowledges your accomplishments or aspirations, it demonstrates that they value your efforts, talents, and ambitions. In relationships, these types of interactions contribute to a sense of validation, trust, and respect. From a Stoic perspective, recognizing someone's achievements aligns with the virtue of attentiveness and the understanding that personal growth and development are key aspects of human flourishing. Psychologically, people naturally seek acknowledgement and recognition for their efforts and successes. When someone notices and appreciates your accomplishments, it provides a sense of validation, boosting self-esteem and reinforcing positive self-worth. The act of mentioning achievements or goals is not simply about giving praise, but about showing genuine care and respect for who the person is and what they are striving toward. This kind of interaction fosters feelings of being seen and valued, which are essential for building deeper emotional bonds. From a Stoic standpoint, Recognizing and acknowledging achievements is an act of virtue because it demonstrates respect for others and their individual pursuits. A Stoic believes that each person is on their own journey towards self-improvement, and recognizing someone's efforts reflects a commitment to understanding and supporting that journey. The Stoic ideal of recognizing the value of one's actions and character plays a significant role here. Acknowledging achievements is not about seeking external validation or praise, but about fostering a deeper understanding and appreciation of what contributes to a person's virtue and excellence. When someone mentions your goals or achievements, they are signaling that they understand your aspirations and are invested in your success. This goes beyond simply listening. It shows an active engagement and attentiveness to what you care about. In relationships, these acknowledgements create a sense of trust and emotional security because they signal that the person respects and values who you are beyond surface-level interactions. In Stoicism, this reflects the virtue of attentiveness, where individuals strive to live in accordance with their values and goals. By recognizing and encouraging others' goals, they demonstrate a commitment to mutual respect and understanding. Moreover, when someone acknowledges your achievements or goals, it can inspire and motivate you to continue pursuing them. Positive reinforcement encourages a sense of purpose and direction, which is essential for personal growth. A Stoic would view this acknowledgement as an alignment with one's duty to help others cultivate virtue and pursue excellence. By recognizing achievements, a person encourages the other to remain focused on their purpose, aligning with the Stoic emphasis on living a life of intention and virtue. Acknowledging achievements also reflects emotional intelligence. People who are attentive to others' accomplishments often have a higher level of emotional awareness, understanding the importance of supporting others' growth. This emotional intelligence fosters empathy, respect, and a deeper connection. In Stoic thought, emotional intelligence is considered a key virtue, as it requires self-awareness, attentiveness, and the capacity to understand and respond to others' needs. By acknowledging others' successes, one demonstrates the ability to appreciate what is valuable in others and support their continued development. From a relationship perspective, when someone recognizes your achievements or goals, it creates a sense of reciprocity. The other person becomes a source of encouragement, offering support and validation, which deepens the connection between you. This acknowledgement helps to build a foundation of trust, where both parties feel understood and valued. In Stoicism, relationships based on mutual respect and support are seen as essential for living a life of virtue. By recognizing the goals and achievements of others, individuals contribute to a more harmonious and meaningful relationship. Increased communication regarding goals and achievements also opens the door for deeper conversations and shared aspirations. When someone acknowledges what you're striving toward, it encourages further dialogue, creating opportunities for mutual growth. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of dialogue and reflection, as both are integral to personal development. By fostering conversations about personal achievements and goals, individuals help one another reflect on what matters most and how to align their lives with virtue. Number 7. Body language of comfort and openness. Body language plays a crucial role in communication, often speaking louder than words. When someone exhibits a body language of comfort and openness, it serves as a powerful nonverbal indicator of their feelings, intentions, and emotional state. From a psychological perspective, body language is deeply rooted in how people express themselves, often revealing their true thoughts and feelings. When a person feels comfortable and open, their body language tends to reflect this through relaxed posture, eye contact, and other nonverbal cues. These subtle signals convey interest, warmth, and receptivity, which are essential components of human connection and relationships. In relationships, especially those that have deeper emotional significance, observing body language can offer valuable insights into the other person's level of comfort and openness. When someone feels at ease around you, their body language will naturally reflect this sense of safety and receptiveness. They may lean slightly forward, maintain eye contact, smile, or adopt a relaxed posture. Conversely, when discomfort is present, body language tends to become more guarded or closed, indicating a lack of connection or openness. Understanding these cues can help both parties navigate relationships more effectively and build deeper connections. From a Stoic perspective, body language of comfort and openness aligns with the virtues of attentiveness, self-awareness, and respect for others. A Stoic would view body language not as random behavior, but as a reflection of one's internal state and alignment with virtue. When someone exhibits open and comfortable body language, they are demonstrating a form of self-control and mindfulness. In Stoicism, self-awareness involves understanding how one's actions, including non-verbal communication, affect relationships and interactions with others. Open body language, in this sense, reflects a cultivated virtue, as the individual is consciously present and attuned to others without unnecessary distractions or rigidity. Psychologically, body language of comfort and openness often signals trust and emotional security. When a person feels comfortable, they are more likely to relax their body and exhibit non-verbal signs of openness. This can include maintaining good posture, maintaining eye contact, and using gestures like smiling or leaning in toward the other person. These signals help create an atmosphere of trust, signaling that the person feels safe and accepted. In relationships, trust is a fundamental component, and body language serves as an important medium through which trust is communicated and reinforced. A person who displays open body language signals that they are willing to engage, listen, and connect without feeling defensive or threatened. In Stoic philosophy, trust is not seen as something that comes easily, but is instead cultivated through intentional and virtuous behavior. A Stoic would argue that body language of comfort and openness reflects one's commitment to fostering authentic relationships based on respect and mutual understanding. When someone exhibits relaxed body language, they are signaling that they are present, engaged, and willing to invest their attention in the relationship. This alignment with virtue ensures that relationships are approached with a clear focus on what is within one's control, one's own actions, and the well-being of others. Moreover, body language of comfort and openness often facilitates better communication. When someone is physically relaxed, they are more likely to engage in open dialogue, listen attentively, and express themselves clearly. Body language cues such as nodding, maintaining eye contact, or leaning slightly forward encourage the other person to feel heard and understood. From a Stoic perspective, effective communication is vital for fostering meaningful connections. A Stoic would view body language as a reflection of rationality, where openness and clarity are preferred over defensiveness or hesitation. When someone communicates with an open posture, they demonstrate a willingness to connect and engage in a way that aligns with Stoic values of self-awareness and respect for others. Furthermore, body language of comfort and openness can help reduce misunderstandings and conflicts. When someone feels comfortable and is displaying relaxed, open body language, it signals that they are receptive and willing to engage in constructive discussions. In contrast, closed body language, such as crossing arms, avoiding eye contact, or turning away, often indicates discomfort, defensiveness, or disengagement. A Stoic would view such closed behavior as an impediment to clear communication and effective relationship building. By adopting an open posture, individuals create an environment conducive to healthy dialogue, where mutual respect and understanding can thrive. In relationships, body language of comfort and openness often leads to a greater sense of connection and intimacy. When someone feels at ease, they are more likely to share personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This sharing fosters a deeper bond as it builds trust and facilitates vulnerability. A Stoic would view vulnerability as a crucial aspect of relationships, as it allows for genuine connection and the practice of virtues such as courage and self-awareness. When a person exhibits open body language, they signal their willingness to engage and explore the relationship in a way that aligns with Stoic principles of living in accordance with nature and virtue. Number 8. She shares personal stories or vulnerabilities. When someone shares personal stories or vulnerabilities, it signifies a deep level of trust and emotional openness. People tend to withhold their most intimate experiences and emotions from those they do not feel comfortable with, as sharing such personal details requires a sense of safety and understanding. When a woman opens up and shares these parts of herself, it reveals a level of comfort and connection that goes beyond surface-level interactions. From a psychological standpoint, the act of sharing personal stories allows individuals to connect more meaningfully, fostering a sense of empathy, validation, and intimacy. Vulnerability is often perceived as a form of strength rather than weakness, and when someone willingly embraces it, they are signaling their willingness to engage on a deeper level. In relationships, the sharing of personal stories and vulnerabilities helps to establish a sense of closeness and trust. When someone feels safe, they are more likely to reveal aspects of their life that might otherwise remain hidden. These stories often involve moments of struggle, doubt, or growth, experiences that shape who they are and reflect their true self. When a woman opens up and shares these moments with you, it suggests that she feels secure enough to reveal her inner thoughts, fears, and desires. In doing so, she's not only seeking understanding, but also expressing a level of emotional intimacy that indicates genuine care and interest. From a Stoic perspective, sharing personal stories aligns with the virtue of authenticity and self-awareness. A Stoic recognizes that vulnerability is a natural part of human life and that embracing it leads to greater self-awareness and connection. The act of sharing personal experiences requires a form of courage and acceptance, which aligns with the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature. When someone willingly shares their vulnerabilities, they are acknowledging their limitations and striving for growth, which is in line with Stoic values. By doing so, they create opportunities for mutual understanding, trust, and support, all of which are essential for meaningful relationships. Psychologically, the sharing of personal stories helps to build emotional bonds by fostering empathy and understanding. When someone shares personal experiences, they invite you to see them as more than just a surface-level presence in their life. These stories often reveal the fears, doubts, and aspirations that define a person's sense of self. By listening attentively and offering a compassionate response, you show that you are willing to engage deeply with their world. This deep connection creates a foundation of trust, which is crucial for the development of lasting relationships. In this context, a person who shares personal stories demonstrates a willingness. Psychologically, the sharing of personal stories also encourages authenticity, which plays a key role in human connection. When someone shares their vulnerabilities, they are showing you who they truly are without the need to present a perfect or idealized version of themselves. This authenticity invites deeper trust and connection, as it removes the barriers that might otherwise prevent genuine engagement. In a Stoic sense, authenticity is valued as a reflection of virtue and self-awareness. By embracing their vulnerabilities, individuals are striving for personal growth and self-knowledge, which is essential for living a life of virtue. Finally, From a Stoic perspective, the act of sharing personal stories is closely tied to the concept of empathy and compassion. A Stoic understands that life is filled with challenges, and by sharing these challenges, others can offer support and encouragement. When someone feels comfortable sharing their stories, they are opening themselves to the possibility of receiving the same in return. This reciprocity strengthens bonds as both parties come to understand each other on a deeper level. In this way, sharing personal stories not only builds trust, but also aligns with Stoic ideals of living with compassion, integrity, and a focus on what is within one's control. Number 9. She recalls past conversations or experiences. When a woman recalls past conversations or experiences, it serves as a significant indicator of her interest, attentiveness, and emotional connection to you. Memory is a powerful tool that allows us to reflect on shared moments, and when someone brings up conversations or experiences that may have seemed minor or insignificant at the time, it signals that those interactions have had a lasting impact. From a psychological perspective, the act of remembering details and past events highlights a person's level of engagement and emotional investment in the relationship. When someone remembers these specific moments, they are showing that they have paid attention to what was said and have stored it in their memory, often because it holds some emotional significance for them. In relationships, recalling past conversations or experiences creates a sense of continuity and emotional intimacy. It's not just about remembering facts, but about connecting the dots between moments, emotions, and the person with whom those experiences were shared. When a woman brings up past discussions, whether it's a meaningful conversation or a seemingly trivial detail, it reflects her willingness to engage in a deeper connection. These memories often serve as reminders of shared emotions, values, or personal milestones, helping to build a stronger bond between individuals. From a psychological standpoint, recalling such details demonstrates attentiveness and an investment in the relationship, as it suggests that the person sees value in what was discussed and is emotionally connected to those moments. Psychologically, this practice of recalling past conversations can also be linked to feelings of attachment. When someone is attached to another person, they naturally retain information about them because those details contribute to their understanding of that individual. A woman who recalls past conversations often associates those memories with positive feelings, whether they relate to shared laughter, support, or mutual interests. These recollections signify a desire to keep the relationship alive, as memories serve as a bridge between past, present, and future. The more emotionally connected a person is, the more likely they are to remember details, demonstrating their focus on what matters most to them, namely, the connection they share with you. From a Stoic perspective, recalling past conversations aligns with the Stoic virtues of attentiveness, mindfulness, and living in accordance with nature. A Stoic values awareness of one's own thoughts and actions, and this extends to how they engage with others. When a woman recalls past conversations, she is demonstrating that she has been present and attentive to those interactions, embodying the Stoic practice of being mindful of one's environment and relationships. The Stoic emphasis on self-awareness and understanding encourages individuals to reflect on their experiences, seeing them not as isolated moments, but as integral parts of a broader narrative. By recalling past conversations, a Stoic demonstrates an awareness of the relationship's significance and a commitment to fostering genuine connection through mindful reflection. In relationships, recalling past conversations also reflects the idea of respect and care. A Stoic would view this practice as a way of honoring the connection between two people, recognizing that those conversations hold value and meaning. By remembering details from past interactions, the individual is signaling that they have paid attention to what was said, reinforcing a sense of trust and connection. The Stoic approach would encourage individuals to view these moments as opportunities to reflect on one's role in the relationship, ensuring that they are living in accordance with their values of virtue and respect. The ability to recall past conversations is seen as a sign of emotional maturity and intentionality, qualities highly valued in Stoic philosophy. From a practical standpoint, when someone recalls past conversations, it often provides reassurance to the other person. In a relationship, knowing that your words, thoughts, and feelings are remembered fosters a sense of importance and validation. This can strengthen the emotional bond, as it demonstrates that the individual truly values the connection and has internalized the meaning of those conversations. In Stoicism, emotional resilience and clarity are cultivated through such attentiveness, as it aligns with the Stoic focus on what is within one's control, namely one's thoughts, actions, and how they respond to others. By recalling past conversations, a woman is showing that she has taken control of her awareness, ensuring that the relationship remains meaningful and intentional. Moreover, recalling past conversations often facilitates deeper understanding between individuals. It allows both parties to reflect on their shared history, deepening their connection by reinforcing the continuity of the relationship. From a Stoic perspective, this understanding aligns with the virtue of wisdom, as it requires a person to reflect on their own thoughts and actions while considering the broader context of their relationship. The ability to recall past conversations suggests that the individual is committed to understanding the other person's perspective, thoughts, and feelings, fostering empathy and a sense of shared purpose. Psychologically, recalling past conversations also helps in building emotional trust. Trust is a foundational element in relationships, and when someone remembers and brings up details from past conversations, it demonstrates that they value the other person's thoughts and emotions. In turn, this contributes to a sense of security and emotional intimacy, as both parties feel heard and understood. In Stoicism, trust is seen as a key virtue, one that arises from self-awareness and the intentional cultivation of meaningful connections. A Stoic would argue that trust is not merely built on words, but is developed through consistent actions, such as attentively recalling and reflecting on past conversations. In summary, when a woman recalls past conversations or experiences, it is a powerful sign of emotional connection, attentiveness, and respect. From both psychological and Stoic perspectives, this act reflects a deeper commitment to understanding, trust, and growth in relationships. By remembering details from past interactions, a woman demonstrates her emotional investment, fostering a sense of intimacy and connection that transcends surface-level engagements. In Stoic philosophy, this practice aligns with virtues such as mindfulness, self-awareness, and intentionality, offering a foundation for more meaningful and enduring relationships. Number 10. She remembers your routine or habits. When someone remembers your routine or habits, it often indicates a deep level of attentiveness and emotional investment. Our daily routines and habits are integral parts of who we are, reflecting our preferences, values, and lifestyle. When someone takes the time to observe and recall these patterns, it suggests that they have been paying close attention to you, likely because they care. Psychologically, remembering someone's routine or habits reflects a connection that goes beyond surface-level interactions. It demonstrates that the person is attuned to the little details that make you unique, which are often the most telling signs of how they perceive and value your presence. From a psychological standpoint, remembering someone's routine helps build a sense of familiarity and comfort. Human beings are creatures of habit, and our routines provide structure and stability. When someone consistently notices and remembers these habits, it shows they are attentive to the details of your life. Whether it's remembering the time you wake up, the way you like your coffee, or your favorite shows, these routines give insight into your preferences and personality. When a woman recalls your routines, she is not just acknowledging your actions, but recognizing the unique patterns that make you who you are. This level of attentiveness signals that she is emotionally engaged, as she pays close attention to the subtle nuances that shape your life. In relationships, remembering routines and habits contributes to a deeper sense of understanding and connection. Relationships thrive on familiarity, and when someone knows and acknowledges your daily patterns, it creates a sense of closeness and intimacy. They are not just aware of you in passing, but understand how you operate on a day-to-day basis. For instance, if a woman remembers that you prefer to exercise in the morning or that you always order the same type of coffee, she is showing that she values these elements of your life. From a psychological perspective, these small, seemingly trivial details help build emotional bonds as they demonstrate attentiveness and care. When someone remembers these routines, they are showing that they care enough to pay attention and recognize what makes you tick. In Stoicism, remembering someone's routines aligns with the Stoic ideals of self-awareness, attentiveness, and living in accordance with nature. A Stoic recognizes the importance of being mindful and present in relationships, ensuring that they are fully aware of their own habits and the habits of others. By observing and remembering your routines, a Stoic embodies these virtues, demonstrating that they have taken the time to understand not just your actions, but the deeper patterns that shape your life. The Stoic perspective emphasizes living with intention and understanding, which means being mindful of others' habits, whether they are mundane or significant. In this way, remembering your routines reflects a commitment to attentiveness, which is essential for fostering meaningful and enduring relationships. From a practical standpoint, remembering your routines also contributes to emotional security. In relationships, knowing that someone pays attention to your routines creates a sense of reassurance and trust. When a woman remembers these habits, she is signaling that she has internalized aspects of your life that may not always be obvious, but are deeply meaningful. This creates a sense of emotional intimacy, as it shows that the other person is attentive and invested in your well-being. In Stoicism, trust and emotional security are deeply valued because they allow individuals to focus on what they can control, namely their own thoughts, actions, and responses. By observing and remembering your routines, a person is demonstrating their commitment to fostering trust, which is crucial for deep, meaningful relationships. Psychologically, remembering your routines also reflects a form of empathy and understanding. When someone knows your routines, they are able to empathize with the structure of your life, placing themselves in your shoes. This act of empathy strengthens the bond between individuals because it shows that they care enough to understand what makes you feel comfortable and at ease. Empathy is a key component of emotional connection, and remembering routines encourages a deeper understanding of someone's day-to-day experience. In this sense, remembering your routines reflects not only attentiveness, but also an intentional effort to build a meaningful relationship based on mutual understanding. From a Stoic viewpoint, this attentiveness aligns with the idea of living with virtue and harmony. The Stoic ideal emphasizes the importance of observing life with clarity and awareness, understanding both oneself and others. By paying attention to someone's routines, a Stoic adheres to the principle of attentiveness, striving to live in harmony with the natural flow of life. They recognize that routines are a part of one's character, and by acknowledging these routines, they show a deeper respect for the person's individuality. This is essential in Stoicism because it reinforces the belief that relationships are built on the understanding of both one's own nature and the nature of others. Number 11. She acts differently around you. When a woman acts differently around you, it often indicates a deeper connection, emotional investment, and a willingness to reveal different aspects of her personality. People tend to adapt their behavior based on their environment and the people they are around, especially when they feel a strong connection. If a woman acts differently around you compared to how she behaves with others, it's a sign that she feels comfortable and at ease in your presence. This behavioral shift is not just about superficial changes, but often reflects her emotional state, comfort level, and the value she places on the relationship. From a psychological perspective, acting differently around someone signifies a shift in how a person expresses themselves. Humans are complex beings, and our behaviors often vary based on the context of who we are interacting with. When someone feels comfortable and connected with someone, they are more likely to show aspects of their personality that may not be readily apparent to everyone. For example, she may become more playful, vulnerable, or even more relaxed around you. These shifts in behavior are not necessarily conscious or deliberate, but rather natural expressions of how she interacts when she feels safe and emotionally connected. The more invested someone is, the more likely they are to let go of their typical social masks and show their true self. In relationships, these subtle behavioral changes are key indicators of deeper emotional connection. A woman who acts differently around you is revealing parts of her personality that she may not share with everyone else. For instance, she might be more expressive, more relaxed, or more attentive when interacting with you. This shift is important because it suggests that she sees something unique about your relationship, whether it's trust, mutual understanding, or emotional intimacy, that makes her feel comfortable enough to reveal more of her authentic self. The ability to be vulnerable and open is often tied to how someone perceives their connection with another person. If a woman acts differently around you, she is signaling that your presence plays a significant role in how she experiences and navigates her world. From a Stoic perspective, acting differently around someone is aligned with the virtue of self-awareness and authenticity. A Stoic strives to understand their own nature and the nature of others, and they recognize the importance of being present and mindful in their interactions. When a woman acts differently around you, it suggests that she is becoming more self-aware in your presence, less concerned with external appearances, and more focused on being genuine. Stoicism emphasizes living in accordance with nature and aligning actions with what is within one's control. When someone feels safe and secure, they are more likely to act in a way that is natural and in line with their true character. This authenticity is something Stoics value deeply, as it reflects a deeper understanding and acceptance of who they are. Acting differently around someone can also indicate a form of respect. When a woman feels a connection with you, she may be more mindful of her behavior, tailoring it to suit the context of the relationship. This isn't about pretending to be someone she's not. Rather, it's about adjusting her behavior based on the emotional space you occupy. A Stoic approach to this would emphasize the idea that understanding and respecting others' unique qualities is an important part of living virtuously. By acting differently around you, she shows that she respects the connection and is willing to invest energy into being more authentic, which strengthens the relationship. From a practical standpoint, when someone acts differently around you, it creates a sense of intimacy and trust. In relationships, trust is often built through repeated exposure to someone's authentic self. When a woman feels comfortable acting differently around you, it suggests that she trusts you enough to let down her guard and be genuine. This level of trust fosters emotional security, which is essential for deeper connections. A woman who acts differently around you is not just presenting a different version of herself, but is offering a glimpse into her core beliefs, values, and emotions. This openness often leads to stronger bonds because both parties feel seen, understood, and accepted. Moreover, acting differently around someone often reflects an emotional connection that goes beyond surface-level interactions. When a woman feels drawn to someone, she may find herself naturally behaving in ways that she wouldn't with others. For example, she might feel more relaxed, share more personal thoughts, or express emotions more openly. These behavioral shifts indicate a connection that is more than just familiarity. They reflect a deeper sense of attachment and investment. From a Stoic standpoint, this attachment is not based on dependency or irrational desires, but on a deeper understanding of what contributes to a meaningful and virtuous relationship.